What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these charts on this beautiful Monday, June 8th, make sure you view this on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you always do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top One, Lucid, code RDF, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that. For you to do your own dang research, make your own dang decisions. Chat! What's going on, man? I've been leaving markup to get charts marked up with you guys here. I probably need to stop doing that because I just don't have enough time before market open. These markets have been wild. Want to talk about that wild movement that we got on Friday. Crazy move back down here. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and get this chart marked back up. Let's go ahead and get these out of the way for right now. Prior week levels. We will mess with those. But first off, we're going to get overnight low marked up. Prior day low marked up. Let's go. We got our overnight low level. Gonna be watching YM off of the open, and then a little bit of NQ. A little bit of NQ after that. Prior day low, overnight low, prior week high, gonna come all the way up here, which is also gonna be prior day's high, and then our overnight high. Very simple chart markup here. Let's go to the 15-minute. Let's pull a volume profile for prior week, and we can get this done real quick now. Real quick now. Same stuff we like to do every damn week. Fixed range volume profile. Right, today's Monday. Here's session changeover Sunday. We're gonna come all the way back over here to Sunday, right? Right here for session changeover. Bang. All the way out here to the end of Friday. Bang, right there. And we're gonna take prior week value area high. Prior week volume point of control, which is right in here at this current volume point of control. Prior week value area low. And then you can actually just use the weekly candle for this. For the prior week low. This way I don't jack it up. Let's get that locked in there. Snapped right in there. It's going to be Friday's low. All right. Nasty move to the downside. We'll mark up NQ after this. Let's just take a look at YM. I can get rid of this volume profile now. 15-minute chart. Really zoomed out. Expanded, 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 right? We've kind of got this big megaphone pattern forming here on the high time frames, right? We're still turning to the upside, looking really, really bullish. We've had that nasty pullback. We got it really heavy on NQ, obviously. Not as crazy on this chart, right? On YM. Taking a look at this, right? Just to get some ideas, some ideas, right? I'm gonna look for that same mean reversion trade, man. We're up above VWAP here. If we pop to the upside, pop overnight high, test Friday's value area low, test into this area here, right? I can see it for the move back down. We got a lot of overlapping levels here. I actually don't know if I like this that much with this chart markup, but I can see the short back in. See the short back into VWAP. We crack to the downside. I'm gonna look to long this. If we crack this overnight low to the downside, I'm gonna look to long this back up. It's gonna be very simple. I want to take a look at NQ with you guys really quickly. We got about 2 minutes till the market opens up. Yeah, let's just go with our prior day and overnight high, overnight low levels. That's what we're gonna do here, guys. Overnight low, right? Area of the session change. Area that price trades from session changeover, right, to 9:30 a.m. Eastern, which we're coming up on right now. Overnight high, overnight low, prior day high, prior day low. Nasty bearish bar. Nasty bearish bar. Bullish action coming into the open, man. Really bullish action coming into the open. We did not sweep that Friday's low. We've really just pushed to the upside here, looking at the 15-minute chart. Putting our overnight high in here. There's a short right back down. I'm not going to watch this off the open. I'm going to watch YM. But we'll come back over to scalp on NQ like psychopaths. Maybe after this potential setup on YM. But first and foremost, I'm going to say good morning to you guys in just a minute. Wanted to get this chart marked up. First and foremost, we're ready for the open here. This is too many levels, man. I don't like this. It's just too much overlapping from prior week. I'm going to leave it for right now. But just to talk about this one more time. If we pop to the upside, I'm curious to see what happens in here. This is my area of interest to the upside. Okay, chat? Pop above overnight high. I'm looking for potential shorts in here. We are opening up right now. If we sell off, right, through VWAP, I'll be looking for longs. But we might be in store for this this short play. Now, could absolutely get my face ripped off like I did on Friday getting long. Here we go, popping it to the upside. Yeah, we might get this one pretty quick, guys. Get this one pretty quick. I'm looking at the 51,200s, about 50 points higher than where we're at right now for a potential short play here, guys. Hey, where is my... What happened here? Popped overnight high. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. I do like this for a potential short. Waiting for one more push up out of this, guys, for this mean reversion play back down towards VWAP. I know this is pretty quick into the open on a Monday morning here. No news Monday. A lot of volatility from Friday. I'm waiting for us to trade out these 200s, which we are doing right here. Really aggressive pop. Do I want to sell into this? 230s. I'm giving it a second here. Really aggressive 100-point move to the upside. I'm trying it from up here, guys. This is very aggressive, right? But I like to trade aggressively off of the open. I'm looking for this mean reversion move, right? Exactly what I marked out off of the open. I'm looking for this to come right back down towards VWAP. Come and sweep this low in here. Could absolutely get my face ripped off, which looks like it might happen on trade number 1. But we're going to trade this bad boy. I'm selling into this buying pressure. Wanted to see this area get hit. Friday's value area low. This area of consolidation. 200-point stop loss. Let's see if we're just going to absolutely take off like a rocket on YM and completely erase this move. And we're just going to start to pull this crazy back and forth movement. Looking for a quick move back down here. Back down to prior week volume point of control. Current volume point of control. Huge area of high volume in here that we've traded back and forth, along with VWAP. Do we get that today? I don't know. But I'm short from 51, 235. We've already traded almost 100 points past that. Let's see if we catch any bit of sellers in here, or if this is going to be a really big drive higher. Taking a look at NQ. NQ tried to move higher so far. Turning back down towards VWAP. Good morning, chat. Getting the first trade on quickly here. I watched this off of, I waited to mark the chart up with you guys, but I did watch this in pre-market. Pushed in the upside. I liked this for a simple mean reversion trade move right back in. Could we push all the way up here and then come all the way back in? Sure. If we push all the way through here, all the way back up to prior week's value area high, volume point of control, this looks like a complete reversion. If we're going to do that, looks like a sweep of the lows and then back to all-time highs. I'm looking at this to take everybody out, trap longs, and potentially come back in here, chop around. I also like this mean reversion trade on a no news Monday. I really like a mean reversion trade on a no news Monday. We got CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Wednesday, unemployment claims. Not a whole lot. Obviously, Trump comments moving the market all over the place. So we'll see. But we're here in some Tradeify counts today. Here in some Tradeify counts. Yeah, this market's moving, man. This market's moving. Seeing if we can't put some profit into some Tradeify select flex accounts. That's what I got with these guys. Couple 50Ks, couple 150Ks. Nice reaction back down here, guys. Now, can we get this really clean turn? Beautiful turn off these highs. Trading. Oof, man. Trading 168 points off the high. This is volatile, though, guys. This is volatile. Talked about it in Discord. There we go. Over 100 points in my direction. All the way back to overnight high. I'm hanging on to this bad boy here, guys. I want to see this really clean pull back in. That's very nice. That is very nice. Can we get the move all the way back down? Is it just going to be a dip our toe back in here? Again, I'm looking for profit back down around VWAP, volume point of control. Not going to look to make this a crazy home run, but I do like this. Chat. Trading back down to the 100s. This could be a problem here. Guys. Market is moving quickly today. Overnight high could be a problem, guys. This could be a problem right in here. I'm looking for a push down in. Not looking to just completely hold this thing for a huge sell-off. A little bit more out of it. This is not enough. Close. A little bit of a crack right down in here towards the low. There we go. I'm taking it right there, guys. I'm out. I'm taking 800 bucks. I'm out. Nice. Had to take a little bit of heat on that one very quick. 6 minutes into the open, but I'm going to put 800 bucks in this account. Why? We'll talk about this. Why? Good morning, first off. Let's get the W rolling. Let's get the W's rolling in chat. Good morning, guys. We didn't even get to say good morning. We had to take the quick trade here. Let me log into Tradeovate and actually see what the actual entry, exit, target, everything. We got W's in chat immediately off the open. I felt like we were going to start off with a good week here. I felt like we were going to start off good here, man. Guys, how we doing today? All right? How we doing today? Okay? Had to take some back and forth L's last week. We had to get some different stuff going on. There we go. W's in chat, man. Spam it. Let's go. Let's talk about this trade. This thing might dump here, guys. This might be a real dumpski. Wow. Yeah, we did clear 800 on that. Very nice. Let me pull up my actual entry, exit, stop target on this, and we can look at it, right? Oh my gosh. Nasty wick. Decision-making time. We gonna come all the way through this, or are we gonna pop right back up, man? But I'm happy to take a quick profit on that, right? Very quick movement, right? Took some quick heat. Happy to take a quick profit on that. So I got filled, or what was my initial order? Market filled at 51, 235. I had about a 200 tick stop loss level on that, and we ended up getting profit at canceled. What do we do? Market out at 51.075. Nice, man. Nice. Listen, man. I'm happy to be in and out on that. Okay, let's talk about this trade now. All right. We can go hide this, and we can go back and talk about it later, right? Simple mean reversion play. Like we mapped out, right? If we crack this overnight high level, I was looking for a push up to this next area of high volume. You can see it's overlapped by multiple volume profile levels, but more clearly than even value area low from Friday and this little bit of consolidation from the afternoon, just a nice chunk of high volume here, right? Right? Well, what's the thesis with YM? You know, here's our overnight high. Here's our overnight low, right? This is the area that we've traded so far, okay? Off of the open, what do I look for? Chatty McChat. I look for a push to the upside and a trade back down towards the mean. A push to the downside, a trade back down up towards the mean, right? I look to buy into that selling pressure or sell into that buying pressure. Very, very, very simple, right? Where the hell do we do that? Where do we wait for price to get, right? Next area, right? Next area of interest on the chart. A zone, some would call it, a level. I marked out this bad boy, right? Based off of volume profile here, right? Volume profile right in here, right? Nice area of high volume, right? Beautiful. Waited for price to push up. Gave it a second as we cracked overnight high, right? Obviously not waiting for prior day high and all-time highs to be taken out or some huge move up here. I feel if we're going to pop to the upside, we're either going to do one of two things from up here, right? One of two things where I got short. We're either going to continue ripping to the upside and just go, kind of like what we did to the downside on Friday, right? Or we're going to do what generated a winning trade. We're going to come back down towards the mean. Do I think now that this is going to be a down day, do I pull up and say, you know what? Everything based involved, we're only looking for shorts. Nope, I don't care. Whichever way we go, you know, I'm going to look to try to trade with that if possible, right? From here, pulling back down, we don't go back in time, but pulling back down, do I know if we're just going to sell off through the lows, right? Or if we're going to pull one of these? Nope, I don't care. I don't really care. That's why I'm out here. Mean reversion style play, not complete reversal. For me, quicker take profit, right? Using a little bit of discretion to get out for 800 bucks, maybe rather than 1,000 or 1,500 for a move all the way back in here. Why? That's aggressive, okay, guys? That's a lot of movement. We pushed 322 points. 318 points off of the open. Around 320 points off the open, right? Very aggressive 1 minute candles, and then very aggressive turn back down, right? Often we don't do this. Sometimes we don't slow down. What do? One of these. All right, just an immediate, come back in here, bam, before you even have a chance to react, right? So, for me, if I get into a trade really close off of the open, I take a little bit of heat like I did on that one, almost 100 points of heat or around 100 points of heat, and then it immediately shows me 150 plus, 160 plus points of profit in my direction, 800 bucks, 6 minutes into NYSE Open. I oftentimes don't like to hold on to that to the moon. I don't like to diamond hands that. I like to get in, get out, get paid, reset, maybe wait for another trade, maybe look at NQ, do something different. But again, that's the mean reversion here, right? That's the mean reversion. It's not a reversal. It's not a complete reversal, right? It's not a hold on to the entire trend. Sometimes I'll pull that on NQ a little bit differently. But, that's the trade. That's the trade off the open. In and out in 6 minutes. I really can't complain on that one. Or less than 6 minutes, I should say. How long was this? 4 minutes. That was a 4-minute trade. On the short end of what my trades usually are, because I'm trading from the 15-minute chart. I usually hold them for a longer period of time. Areas for improvements on this. Could have got a little bit better of a fill. Could have got a little bit better of a fill that would have generated more profit. I'm not going to say I would have waited for a whole lot longer than I waited up here. But just on exactly when I pressed the button, I didn't get a particularly good fill. A minute and a half into the open, I got 235. This was, my actual entry. I think I could have easily gotten another, 235. I think I could have easily gotten another 20, 30 points out of that to the upside. I could have easily had a fill right in here had I just been a little bit quicker, right? Game of inches here, right? Game of inches that we're playing and trading. And, that's the difference between a few $100s. So I would have liked to have a little bit better of a fill. As far as exit, more than happy to exit as we're starting to push really aggressively lower, right? Right into this chunk of volume here, right? Once this resets, right into this chunk of volume here, right? Not looking for a complete, pull all the way back down, right? Right into here. Happy to not take it at 100 points in profit, a little bit too quick. Happy to grab it, where I did. So that's my trade for right now, guys. W. That's it. Where I'm not done. We're gonna trade some NQ. Maybe we're gonna hop into another account, trade some NQ. Simple, man. I love the mean reversion play on YM. I don't think a lot of traders trade it at all. I like that. Not a lot of traders trade YM. Not a lot of retail trades the Dow Jones in the futures market. A lot of guys like it in CFDs, but not in futures. I find this move very easy to exploit. Does it always happen? Absolutely not. Sometimes we do what we did here on Friday, right? Where we absolutely just dump, right? Absolutely sell off into the open, right? And then we don't turn. We don't pull back up. We don't catch any mean reversion. We just go, right, in one direction. Kind of also like what we had here on Thursday. Does that often happen? No, I'd say not. If you go back and take a look at things like this right in here, right? Take a look at 930 at, on Dow, crack to the downside, back up to VWAP, right? Right in here, craziness, big back and forth movement on YM. So anyway, we're going to hop over to NQ, but I'm going to take a second, catch my breath. Chat, how we doing, man? Miss K, what's up? Muhammad, what's up? Chris, what's happening? Fast Money, what's happening? Eugene, it's Tilted Gaming. Good morning. Drea, what's up? We've got the account winner from Friday. What's happening? Dwayne, what's going on? Good morning, good luck to everybody today. For sure. Digital Nukes, what's up? Andrew Baggs, what's up? Brian, Alvarez, what's happening? Rob, Vincent, 30MD30. ADO King. We got everybody on here. Trump announces U.S. will blockade. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Purple Ninja, what's up? Good morning. Do I send an email or an IG message to claim the giveaway? You shouldn't have to do anything, Brian. But if you did not get your giveaway yet, Brian, who's on here, if you didn't get your giveaway account from me, anybody who's on here or Brian or anybody who says this, please shoot me an email. Everybody who has won anything from me right as of now should have gotten their account. So we got an issue if not. Hella W's in the chat for that trade that we just took. Very nice. Awesome, dude. Awesome. W's. Yeah. But yeah, anybody that won an account from me, if you didn't get it, let me know. I just made $500 in 5 minutes. Bro, sometimes I understand your strategy better than my own. Yeah, did you catch last week Friday's sell? No, I did not. I got cooked on Friday long. Happy to tell you guys that. I'm short. I'll see, Nate. We'll see. Yeah, man, this is simple. Listen, guys, I'm yapping a lot more about different things. I'm making more videos, about more about trading, right? My own trading, what goes into trading. And I keep coming back to something. This was the big turning point in my own trading. Every time I stray away from this, I don't do as well. This is the sauce. And it's not what you want to hear, okay? Everybody wants to hear the magic strategy. Everybody wants to hear, the magical, how do I top tick and bottom tick the market, right? All right, what indicator do I use? What tool do I use, right? You know what seems to work best for me and for all of the best traders that I watch and know, right? Keeping things stupidly simple. Trading a stupidly simple strategy. Almost an embarrassingly simple approach to the markets, right? Applying quite a bit of discretion. Utilizing their discretion that day. Not being a machine, not being a bot. Using your experience on the chart within reason, right? But using your discretion. And focusing on being a good risk manager, right? Managing your risk, managing your trades. The thumbs up right there. And the way that we're thinking about trading, right? The way that we're thinking in the nature of probabilities, our confidence, right? Around our strategy, our approach, our understanding that the markets are random as all hell in the short term and pretty damn consistent on the long term, right? And our job is not to be, this looks good for a short right here. I'm not taking this right now. I just don't have enough time to start looking at this chart, but this looks pretty tasty for a short. This is volatile. Yeah, we're moving today, guys. We are moving today. This looks really good for a nice short down here, back through this 930 low. Oh, look at how nice this would be. I'm not taking this, guys. I'm not paper trading something here. I hopped over to NQ just to start to mark up as we're talking through YM. But yeah, that looked really good as we failed to move higher. Came back down to current value area high. That's what I'd be into if I was looking for something. Nate said short. I like that. Gotta be quick on the 1 minute chart with NQ. Anyway, that's the sauce. Keep it simple, guys. Stop overcomplicating everything. Like, my whole timeline is just like these weird smart money kids. Not weird, man. Listen, everybody, I don't want to be a hater. All right? Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. But so much of my timeline is just these guys arguing about where trades should be and how everybody's right or how everybody's wrong based on not whether or not they're making money, just on the trades that everybody should and shouldn't be taking, on all these complicated BS. Like, it's just so ridiculous, man. It doesn't even translate to making more money. It's just they want to be right. You want to be right or you want to make money? So that's my thought for today, man. Keep it stupidly simple. Focus on being a good risk manager. Focus on thinking on probabilities, improbabilities, right? Think about the way that you're thinking about trading. That's my thoughts here. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to load up another account. I'm going to look to scalp on NQ. We got a W on YM off the open. I'm going to look to see if we get any other type of setup or movement on YM, but quick 800 bucks on YM. Can't complain there. Let me go ahead and do this. If you guys want to check out Lucid, we got some Lucid accounts, maybe to give away. I don't know. If you want to check out Tradeify, because I'm going to plug Tradeify since that's the account that I'm in at least right now. Got a handful of different prop accounts that I'm trading. Code RDF going to get you the best deal over there. Talk about top one next, because can I load this up? What happened? Something going on. All right, let's talk props while I wait for this to load up. Yeah, trading some Tradify accounts today. Haven't really made as much progress as I would like to since I came back to trading their flex style accounts. We got 40% off Tradify. Code RDF gonna get you the best deal. And last but not least, Top One. Gonna be back into some instant funded accounts with Top One coming up really soon. Really soon. Gonna be talking about that. Gonna be trading some 150K instant funded accounts from Top One. That's gonna be the game plan. There we go. If you want to check out Top One, they are still 50% off. And they still got a BOGO. They still got buy one, get one free on the Elite Access accounts, the $39 evals. Crazy. Crazy work, man. Absolutely crazy work. All right. We are back into the markets. Chat. What's up, man? I'm gonna let this open up here just for a second. Watching NQ here now. Again, simple, discretionary style approach. This kind of looks like after that quick short, which ain't really playing out. This kind of looks like we want to move. We want to move higher. You know, we got a little bit of an imbalance here, right? A low volume node, a fair value gap, whatever dumb, you know, terminology everybody wants to argue over on Twitter and Instagram. I think we're either going to come back into that, come all the way back down to VWAP really aggressively, or we're going to break higher, right? Decision-making point from in here. I don't know that we have the juice after this to break higher. I don't want to start fading this, but I don't know that we have the juice to break higher here. Yeah, guys, I think, you know, higher time frame view, right, which is important. We got some room in here, right? We got some room in here, so, you know, this is a lot to just decide from. We got a high volume node in here, right? High volume node in here. You know, we got some levels right in here that we could pop up to, and that's quite a bit of room right here. But I think we're either going to come back up here, this high volume node, or back in here. Current volume point of control, VWAP right here, right? I think from a higher time frame view, if you said, you know, what are you looking at for the overall daily movement, right? Sure, we could just chop right here. But I think if we're going to chop, we're coming back down in here. If we're actually going to extend to the upside, go into price discovery for the day, clear out some of this imbalance from Friday, this is where we're headed, all the way back up to that 30,000 even level. I'm not here to predict which one of those is going to happen. I don't care to do that, but I do like to understand, you know, what I can expect out of price from a higher time frame view as we come lower. So I don't want to take a guess from in here which way we're going to go. I do think we could certainly come down here lower first before taking off to the upside. And again, gun to my head, which I'm glad I have not had yet. I need to stop saying that because it's not going to help me on live streams. I'm looking at this potentially back down towards VWAP. But I'm not going to take that just yet. You know, this is kind of choppy. This is really not a lot of direction. Overnight session, Asia, London, we pushed to the upside. NYSE on this, we opened up, right? Here's our opening range so far from 9:30 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. You know, that's hot garbage. That's like very choppy and indecisive. We are really just consolidating here. I do think we are likely to pop to the upside or pop to the downside as we get tighter and tighter and tighter and start to contract, right? We go into that contracting range type of movement. But I'm not looking to guess which way that's going to be from in here. I think I'm just going to wait. we'll probably get some crazy movement, and then maybe I'll look to trade, I'll look to trade along with some of that. But like I said, from in here, this looked like a pretty tasty short, right? This was the trade that I had marked out on my chart right when I hopped over. Right back in here. Oh no, excuse me. Excuse me. This was the trade that I had marked out in here. Right back down towards this low. You can go super tight, but that's a little bit crazy. Something like that. Take profit right in here. Right? You know, we pop to the downside. We pull back up. We consolidate. We find sellers. Right? We start to come back down through. You know, this doesn't look that bad. You can go a little bit wider or something like that. You know, it just depends on what you want to do. But I'm in wait-and-see mode. Wait-and-see mode for now. Chat, how we doing, guys? How we doing? Oh, what's up? I've been over trading. That's a good day. Morning, gang. Took the short for 900 on MNQ locked out. Beautiful. People always argue over these things. Good, good. Awesome. You guys are doing good. Good to hear. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, again, I hopped on socials, right? I talked to you guys. I did not catch this sell-off at all on Friday, right? I got cooked on Friday. Happy to tell you transparently when I make and lose money, right? I make money trading, and I know that making money trading, part of that is losing money. As crazy as that is to understand, right? You know, we're going to have business expenses to pay. We're not going to be a genius and catch every single move. I saw 3 things on Friday. I saw the most of the first 2, and then the least of what I had going on. Very little people ever want to admit they lose any money, right? They want to sell you a dream. They want to present themselves as a genius that knows where market is going every single day, which I literally hear people say out loud, and it's the cringiest, stupidest thing I hear people say. It's insane. So I heard a lot of people not say that they lost money, right? You know, if they lost money, took losses. A lot of people made money, which is great for them. Awesome. I congratulate you if you're on the right side of that movement. You know, if you're able to get that read, awesome, dude. And then I also heard a lot of people tell you why they didn't make money and why it was bad for anybody to have made money, right? Why it was wrong, right? And those people are, you know, defending their ego, defending their system in some type of way, right? And instead of just saying, I was wrong, I missed that movement, or I didn't make money, or maybe there wasn't a setup for me, but for everybody else that made money, you know, great for you. That's a nice short, man. You know, they're going to tell you why nobody should have made any money and why it didn't make any sense, right? That stuff is not helpful, man. That stuff is not helpful. And I'm seeing more and more of it from, like, the younger kids, right? You know, like the smart money ICT boys. They're, like, constantly arguing over what the right way to trade is, right? What the right and wrong way to do something is. And it just gets farther and farther and farther from what we're all here to do, which is attempt to find something for us individually. No right or wrong. Absolutely no right or wrong way to trade. No right or wrong to place your entry, to place your stop loss, to take profit. There literally is not. If there was, we would all be trading the exact same way. So would the banks, so would the algorithms, the institutions. That's not the case, right? So when people say that, it's just blatantly incorrect. But I see that arguing back and forth, and it's like, you guys are missing the whole point, missing the whole idea. You know, your job is not to figure out the right or wrong way. It's, can you create a positive expectancy over a large sample size through some combination of, you know, indicators, tools, technicals, fundamentals, macro, order flow, you know, whatever you want to use through win rate and risk to reward, right? Are you able to do that over a large sample size? You know, that's the key. However you get that done, great, right? If you're not getting that done, you know, you're not doing a great job. But, you know, it's insane, dude. It's insane. And it gets so much engagement. And I know, like, a lot of it is just rage baiting. I know a lot of these guys don't actually trade. They don't really do anything. It's just getting people to talk and argue and this back and forth. But it's just like, it's silly, man. So, you know, if you, again, I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to talk negatively, right? But don't get distracted by that if you can. I see so many people distracted by it. And it reminds me earlier on, right? You know, when there wasn't maybe as much as that when I was getting started. of like the hunt for indicators, right? The tool, the biggest tool was always the newest indicator. This is the best thing. If you're not using this, you're missing out. If you're not using this tool, you're not making money. It's as simple as waiting for XYZ crossover, like, and that's what I focused on. It was wrong. I focused on a lot of that BS, man. It was just not the case. Just not the case. Watching this find buyers down here, guys, near VWAP. I'm sitting patient on NQ. For those of you guys that hopped on late, I'm 1W for 800 bucks on YM off the open. I'm not looking to do anything too crazy here. This is a 150K that I'm gonna look to trade pretty aggressively. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything just yet here. Started to find buyers off these lows. We got some buy orders sitting lower. I think we could dip, man. So far, we're making that decision too. Right? Not come higher right off the bat. Maybe dip our toes back in here. All right, come back down to this area of high volume. We just came outside of this. Got bought right back up. So we could go right back towards these highs here. No, I'm gonna wait. Anyway, yeah, I see a lot of BS, man. So, you know, don't get caught up in that, man. Figure out your approach, figure out your style. All right, focus on, you know, block out all the BS noise. Focus on, you know, how you want to approach the markets. How are you going to keep things simple enough so you can focus on whatever tools you're actually using? How are you going to apply your discretion? That's the other part of it. It's all this argument about what should and shouldn't be done, and everybody acting like they have some kind of mechanical system. They don't. They're using discretion. Everybody's utilizing their discretion. That's a manual trader and not, you know, plugging something into a complete algorithm. So don't get lost in the sauce, guys. But talk about markets here before I hop over to the chat. I'll hop back over to a second, guys. Just talk about markets here. This is a pretty nasty movement, man. This is a pretty nasty movement. Big sell-off on Friday. Huge, you know, huge. Look at, we're not over-exaggerating. Look at the, you know, bearish bars that we have in here. You know, outside of like all the way back in here, I think this was some of the nastiest price action we've seen. Straight shot down. Straight shot to the downside too. If you look at this on a you look at this even on a modest time frame, man, just a straight dump off the open for NYSE all the way into the close. Like, continued to sell off into the close. Like, low time frames, this thing just kept pushing, man, all the way down in. Insane. So off the higher time frame highs, right? Off these all-time highs. Curious to see what we do here. I'm not in the interest of, you know, speculating on what the U.S. economy is going to do. There's so much at play. Constant conflict out of the Middle East. You know, the U.S. is involved in that. So much with the, you know, oil supply chain. A lot affected there. But just technically, that was a nasty sell-off. We got a little bit of a recovery, right? We started to get some of that pumping up of the economy from the U.S. administration. That's what it felt like over the weekend. Pop to the upside here, and then a pull back down to VWAP. Overall on news, just to talk about that, not a whole lot coming out today and tomorrow. We have a no news Monday here. We have core CPI and full CPI on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Thursday, we got PPI, unemployment claims. Those could definitely move the market a bit. CPI is usually a pretty decent market mover. And then prelim consumer sentiment, prelim inflation expectations. So not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. You know, as we get closer and closer to the summer as well, you know, we don't always go into that summer slowdown, but there's a saying in the stock market that goes sell in May and go away, right? The summer months, right? And we're after May now into June. The summer months are often slow. We often get, you know, choppy, consolidating, lower volume movements. The theory there is Wall Street and, you know, most of the main, you know, U.S. economy is kind of off for the summer, right? Vacationing, just less positioning and movement. In general, that seasonality of the market will occur if you trade for long enough, for multiple years. You'll get reminded of what summer feels like, what, you know, coming into holiday season feels like, right? You know, New Year, spring, fall, the whole deal. So I would be cautious of that. I've traded through summer months where we just had insane volatility, like coming into August, like just nasty movement. But I am cautious of that as well. So I'm curious to see what happens. You know, I do think there's a chance that we come off these highs and we start to chop, right? We kind of just start to settle. There's so much movement there from Friday. And, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of speculation from that, and that will impact the markets. So not to talk in circles here. Overall, I don't have massive expectations unless we start moving. If we start to get a lot of volatility, all of a sudden, you know, we start dumping, we start continuing this movement to the downside. You know, sure, you know, we could start to see a lot of continuation, a lot of volume. I could expect some chop here. Could easily see some chop down around these lows we put in so far. This back and forth area that we now put this higher time frame high in, right? Started to pull back. We could chop a little bit, you know, could start to form a little bit less of this crazy singular direction uptrend structure, right? Now that we've pulled back here. So I'm coming in pretty, you know, flexible, unbiased. I'm going to try to trade the chart in front of me on NQ, on YM. That's my game plan. YM is pretty simple, you know, back and forth movement. Chopping back up after that aggressive pop to the upside here on YM. Taking a look at ES. ES did get all the way back down to VWAP. Kind of similar structure. Yeah, not... I mean, this is not... This is moving for sure by way of, like, volatility, but kind of back and forth here. Yeah, we're either gonna hold this, and gun to my head, I'm long. You know, shorts would have paid, longs probably will pay out of this area. I don't know about this if we're gonna come all the way back down in here. If we're gonna clear this out, I think this is where we're gonna come, right? If we come back down towards this low, we want to break lower. I think this is a really obvious spot on the chart. We get all the way back down here. I don't know. Maybe we do just kind of turn this into a choppy back and forth day. If we want to just drift higher, which we made the case for pre-market, we don't have to come all the way down here. We can come all the way down here and bounce. We can start to bounce right from here, which it looks like we're going to try to do. But this isn't giving me a ton to work with on the lower time frames here on NQ. This would have paid pretty nicely to the downside. I'm not looking at this absolutely dumping here. Yeah, I'm going to sit patient, guys. I don't have to do anything too crazy. It's only 10:09. We got to trade on and off really quickly off the open. Took a nice W on YM. $800 in the funded account. I'm going to chill for a minute here. Like I said, if I had to trade, it would be long, stop down below here, but I don't really love this structure. It's not my favorite price action here. This is also volatile. I'd probably have to trade this on micros to not be just YOLOing accounts. This is a larger size account, but that's, you know, that's half of 150K right there. All right. Chat, what's up? Got mine. Thank you. Awesome. Greetings from Brazil. You're the best. I appreciate you, bro. You're the best, man. I think I got some juice. I don't think I'm the best, man. I don't think I'm the best trader. I think all that stuff is crazy, man. People yell that stuff. But I appreciate you, man. Maritime Trader, what's up for a break? Good day, Zach. What's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a minute. What's happening? I realize you talk mean reversion a lot. Does that just mean price returning to VWAP after being stretched away from it for a while? Also, what is the name of the indicator you use for volume? Good question. Yeah, mean reversion, right, is kind of just a way that I view the markets, right, and a way that I'll talk about the markets. You're either going to trade in general, right, because this is going to be so nuanced, one of two styles, right, one of two styles. And you can go back and forth. You can do different things. But when we talk about a continuation trade, a trend following trade, we're typically talking about trying to trade in the direction of whatever trend or continuing price action we're identifying, right? Where we would be getting long, for a continuation, breakout style of trading, right? The opposite of that would be a mean reversion, reversal style of trading, right? A counter trend style of trading, right? Where price is moving in one direction and we are going to trade in the opposite direction, right? Anticipating a move in the opposite direction, right? We would be looking to short. When I talk about, mean reversion, which is what we just did here on YM, when I talk about mean reversion, I think that just helps me describe, I'm not going to take anything on NQ just yet, guys. I think it just helps me describe that I'm not looking for a complete reversal and then a trend to develop in the opposite direction. I'm looking for a pullback. I'm looking for a move in one direction and then a reversal in the opposite direction, right? And that's the portion of the move that I'm trying to capture. So for YM, right, for YM, before we had all of this develop up here where we're putting in a really high volume node here, as we push away from VWAP, volume profile, I don't know which tool you're asking about, but this is visible range volume profile, this is session volume profile, VWAP, and volume, right? All technically indicators, but more so just volume tools. I don't really like to be heavily reliant on anything. Price action and market structure are going to be the first and foremost. I think if you took everything off of my chart outside of price action, honestly, my results probably wouldn't change that much. I truly believe that. That's how I got consistent in the first place. I think some of this can just help with applying more consistency as I'm trading live and displaying what the hell I'm looking at to you guys, right? Kind of like drawing all over my chart. I wouldn't be doing that if I was here by myself. So again, mean reversion, right? The opposite would be a breakout, right? You'd say, okay, you know what? Trend is developing. We're above VWAP. I'm going to look long. I'm going to look for a continuation to the upside, right? That'd be the exact opposite of my trades. On YM, and you can go back to the beginning of this video, so you don't know it's hindsight. So you understand that it's not hindsight. You can watch me take the trade. You can watch me put the trade, the entry, the exit, the stop loss in, all of that stuff in real time on the account that I'm trading right here on TradingView, which is why I do this, right? I'm looking for a move up to this area of volume, right? And the next area of interest, back down in, right? Mean reversion. That's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking to capitalize on this portion of the move right here, right? I find that on YM specifically, especially around NYSE Open, this move plays out a lot. You can go and back test that, right? You can go and watch me trade live and go back through all the times that I've taken wins and all the times that I've taken losses. I have hundreds of hours of live trading here on YouTube. So that's what I'm looking for. On NQ, it's a little bit different. On NQ, it's first off, it's more discretionary. It's much more discretionary. It's much more lower time frame, 1 minute price action based, right? Yes, the basic fundamentals of my approach, not like market fundamentals, the fundamentals of the way that I view the markets apply, right? I will look for a clean reversion off of overnight high, overnight low, but it's more of a continuation based, right? It's more of a continuation based trade on low time frames in a smaller, scalpier style, right? I'll also be more discretionary with, maybe scaling in, scaling out, stop loss placement, right? So it's a little bit harder to wrap your head around this one, but I'm happy to show you what it looks like. I tend to trade NQ too much of a counter, too much of a mean reversion, too much of a reversal style. And it seems to be in my favor to trade it in more of a continuation, breakout, trend following, right? Following exactly what price is doing right here, right now. So I'm trying to challenge myself to do that a little bit more, but that's just as you grow as a trader. So hopefully that answers the question. Hopefully that answers the question. Do you copy trade some of your funded accounts? Yeah, sometimes. I use TradeSyncer if I'm going to copy trade, or just the not natural, what is it? Native. I was trying to come up with the word native. Native copy trader and whatever it is, right? I don't copy trade all of my accounts together. That's not what I do. I just don't find that to be super helpful. Some traders do that. They copy trade 50 accounts, all of them together. They trade maybe small. They don't take a lot of payouts frequently, but when they get to a payout, it's a ton of huge payouts from all these different firms. I like to hammer my accounts just more aggressively individually. So for the most part, I'm not copy trading. For the most part, I'm just trading all of my accounts individually, really aggressively. That's kind of where I found, the best results coming into this year. But if I do copy trade, it's in batches, usually at one firm. The one thing that I'm looking at testing, which I still haven't gotten around to because I always try to do too many things, is copy trading from Project X to other accounts. Not to copy trade a bunch of accounts, just to use Project X because I like Project X. What's your target for today? I don't know what you're asking. Guys, what's the direction of the market today in your book? I don't think that's helpful. I don't think that's helpful to try to guess the direction either. As far as a bias that you create overall to try to pick the direction of the daily close, right? Whether we're going to close up or down, you can do that on higher time frames and then bring it with you lower. But I will find sometimes you'll be wrong on a day like Friday, maybe, right? And when you're wrong with a daily bias and you continue to trade in one direction against the trend, against what price is showing you, it could be tough. So, some traders will say, pick a bias and stick to it, only trade in one direction every day. I'm more flexible. I don't really look to do that. I want to use the information as it's developing in front of me and try not to argue with what price is doing, which I've done way too many times in the past, and, just trade with that. Right, so, without being too inconsistent. So I'd be cautious creating a strong market's going to go up today, right? Maybe, and if you're on the right side of that, it's great. If you're on the wrong side of it, it sucks, and it doesn't allow you the flexibility, right? So I think it's important to enter with confidence, saying, I think the market's going to go up for all of these reasons. I think this is the spot that I want to enter. I think this is the invalidation point, right? But at the same time, and put risk on. At the same time, when you're proven wrong, really quickly go, and again, this is the opposite of what all the kids are talking about, you really quickly go, I was dead wrong. I was wrong in this trade, right? The market didn't agree with me. Whether or not I think I'm going to be right or wrong, I know a huge number of times the market's going to disrespect, my entry, and I'm out. Now where do I go from here? And if you have that bias of the market's going to go up, oftentimes you end up re-entering, trying to punish the market, trying to stick to this unhealthy, bias that's not helping. So find a balance there. Okay, got it. Visible range, volume profile. Appreciate you dropping these terms. Yeah, this is visible range, volume profile. That's what we got here. So answering some questions. Hopefully that helps, guys. Kobe Clark, what's up? Nice one. 300 points in 5 minutes. Nice. Hey, homie, can I share your... no, you can't buy me... you can't bot my stream up. That doesn't help me. Oh, man. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got here, man. Chopping back and forth here. Trying to move lower. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot out of this so far, guys. Coming into 10:30 a.m. It's 10:19. I'm sitting patient. On this one. Like I said, shorts first. What was it? No, it's here. This was the potential trade I mapped out, right? If we weren't going to come back in, shorts back down around this 9:30. What was the 9:30 low, right? Now that we're back down here, longs, I think, are the only thing that I would look for. I think we could certainly make the case to just do this today, right? Just back and forth in here and kind of just chop around. Settle down here after a quick pop up. reversing this Asia-London trend to the upside and kind of just chill out on a no news Monday. But from right down here, I do think this is somewhat of an invalidation point, because if we're going to come through this, I think we're probably coming all the way down in here, right? And from up here, you could trade for the long, right? You could trade for the continuation of this trend to be pushed to the upside, right? Higher time frame trend has been up outside of Friday's nasty sell-off. We didn't really continue that to the downside at all. We didn't sweep Friday's low. We just opened up to the upside and trended higher through Asia London into pre-market. And now we just have kind of drifted lower. We didn't crack overnight high. Where's 930? Yeah, here's 930 open. Here's our range so far. We didn't crack overnight high. Objectively, we are trending to the downside, right? We have a series of lower highs getting put in, and a series of lower lows getting put in. And in here now we're kind of just chopping back and forth. So not a lot of direction out of this, not a lot of momentum. I try to keep myself out of getting chopped up in here on a separate account, but I'd like to get some trades on with you guys. All right, while we're chilling, guys, I will be right back. I'll be right back. Let's see if NQ starts to do something. Chat to me, chat. Longs, man? Longs? Hold on. Maybe. Choppy, man. Choppy. What do we think, guys? What do we think? Chop City. Move is going to be pretty drastic when it comes. Yeah, I would assume so, Purple Ninja. I would assume so. I don't know, dude. Like I said, just talking about a little bit of the macro, we had a huge... Well, excuse me. Talking about the technicals first and a little bit of the fundamentals, right? We had a huge move here, right? Nasty move. After this... Usually one of two things happen. We either just continue to rip in that direction or bounce, or we just kind of settle. We just kind of like chill out. Market goes, you know what? We had a huge movement. Now everybody is like in wait and see mode. Let's chill out for a second after some selling pressure. Outside of that, no news Monday with not a whole lot of stuff coming out of the gate outside of just the headline news, right? You know, comments out of the Middle East. I think we could chop today, man. I don't know that we just rip and start moving in one direction. I really don't know. This lower time frame, you know, movements aren't horrible. They aren't absolutely horrible, but again, this wasn't bad to the downside in here after we pulled up off the open, you know, failed to move higher and then started to come back down for a little scalpy move. In here, like I said, longs, maybe. You know, we were talking about having a potential area of interest here, right? You got an invalidation point down below this low. If we're going to move lower, we're probably going to come into here. You know, here's the move back up now. But this is kind of choppy, right? You know, objectively looking at this for NYSE session, I do like to do this. I do this a lot. I try to like zoom back in and go, okay, well, what are we really doing here? And if you just gave me this price action, you know, what am I looking to do here? This is not a whole lot of direction. Okay, this is not a whole lot of movement here for the first hour of trading for NYSE. All right, higher time frame up. You know, Friday down really aggressively. Asia, London pushing to the upside. Right, pre-market, you know, pushing all the way to the upside, putting overnight high in right into the open. NYSE open movement, you know, quite a bit of movement. These are not small candles, right? You know, these are big candles for the 1 minute chart for sure, but back and forth, right? Not a ton of direction. You know, you could make the case, I think, either way on this here, really easily either way. And when that starts to happen, you know, getting involved for some small scalping movements can be cool. You know, you can run your game, but this could be a little bit tough to trade. So I'm waiting. This, I just wasn't quick enough here. I hopped over after my trade. This was, I think, the best setup that I would have for a quick short down. Down here, dipping your toes in, you could take something right off the lows. But I'm gonna sit patient. On this. I really don't have too much here. But like you said, could get some explosive movement, right? Could get some serious momentum, and when that starts to occur, like seller's going to try to take it lower now. When that starts to occur, it could be violent. So yeah, I got my W. I don't really want to turn a winning day into a losing day off of the open. We got plenty of room to trade, you know, into the latter part of the session. So I'm not saying I'm not going to find something. I'm just sitting patient while we kind of chop around and maybe start to move. So that's my thought. No trades yet. For me, today's a low probability today. Late to the stream. Yeah. Yep, no trade set up. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to get chopped in here. A lot of people are going to get chopped in here. Def some junky action after those two moves. Yep. And listen, that's part of good trading, right? If you are not a chop trader, if you're not a chop cheese trader from New York, no, if you're not a range bound trader, you know, when you start to identify a range, don't trade. If you're not a trend based trader, when you start to identify a trend, you know, don't trade, right? Again, a lot of these kids, a lot of people think, you know, the wrong way about the markets. Pull up every day, take a trade. That's not how it works. One of the best quotes and sayings I hear repeated is, the market doesn't pay by the hour. We don't get paid to take more trades, okay? We don't make less money in the long run, when it's hard to think about, to not trade, right? We get paid to wait patiently for our setup to come that we believe presents an edge and put those trades on and then execute them and manage them to the best of our abilities. Everything in between that is either going to be getting lucky, you know, winning, or getting unlucky and losing. That's not really what we're here to do. You know, not really what we're here to do. Prop firms, they toe the fine line of requiring us to do that a little bit, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you know, sit patient if you're in chop and, you know, you're not really seeing a lot of what you need to put a trade on. So nothing wrong with that. Especially if you took a nice trade off the open and you put $800 in your account and, you know, you're chilling for a minute here. Is there any benefit to trading normal broker accounts instead of funded accounts? Sure. plenty of benefits to trading normal broker accounts. Right? I trade live accounts as well as prop firm accounts, all the way from evals to funded to prop firm live accounts, right? There are benefits to trading personal live accounts. There's also drawbacks to trading, personal live accounts. These all just depend, right? Depend on, where you're at as a trader, your capital allocation, your general risk tolerance, general comparisons between prop firm accounts and, live accounts, personal accounts. Prop firm accounts are going to be limited downside risk and upside to massive leverage and payout potential, right? Downsides, tons of rules. You have to jump through hoops to get paid out, right? By following all these different rules. Inherent risks around the prop firms themselves and not just being with live markets, right? Live market conditions, unlimited ability to do whatever you want, requirement to have capital to trade in the first place, and much bigger downside risk and bigger upside potential, right? Really unlimited, boundless opportunity to make a ton of money or lose all of it. So, those would be your comparisons, right? I think where you are as a trader and, how you want to approach the markets, are going to determine what's best for you. But I do find that most traders starting out would do better losing money, because you're going to lose money, on prop firms, right? Beginners, capping your downside risk when you come off of demo. As you progress as a trader, you're going to either have to trade prop firms more and more aggressively and play the prop firm game, right? For lack of a better term, and or start to trade your own personal live accounts, right? And actually put some risk on in live market conditions. So there's definitely benefits and drawbacks to each. And again, I try not to take the Switzerland down the middle stance on everything. I really try not to, but it's just my belief. There's not one best. Every time I scroll on Instagram, I make some jokes about it, right? Here's how you should trade this. Here's how you should never trade prop accounts. They're a scam. You should never trade live accounts. Prop accounts are the best. I don't know, bro. For who? For you, maybe, right? Maybe it's a scam for you. Maybe it's the best or worst for you, but how do you know somebody else's position, right? How could you possibly know what the best is for somebody else? We are in drastically different places, all of us, across the world, with experience, with how much money we have. What makes sense and is a good opportunity for an 18-year-old with 6 months of trading experience and $500 of risk capital is completely different than what makes sense for a 40-year-old with $500,000 of risk capital, not including everything else in their name, right? And, 20 years of trading experience, right? Who's very consistent. Very different opportunities. One might benefit from a $39 buy one, get one free eval that's going to probably not work towards a payout, but cap his downside risk and give him some exposure to the market so he can start to cut his teeth. The other one might not benefit from prop accounts at all, because their general risk per trade is $20,000, and copy trading a bunch of prop accounts to a $20,000 payout is not going to do anything for their day, right? So very different. And I know that was a broad, scale there, but everybody's probably somewhere in between that for the most part, right? Maybe I don't know. If you're younger than 18, first off, get off my stream and get out of all my stuff and get off of the markets in general, because you're not supposed to be here. If you have less than $500, also, you probably just want to be on demo. Maybe you're 60 years old with $50 million worth of risk capital. Congratulations. So, I think within that, we all have to determine for ourselves what a good opportunity is and a bad opportunity. And as we progress, and I try to talk about this a lot, as we progress with experience, right, with capital, with risk tolerance, the opportunities are going to change. They're going to shift, right? What is the best opportunity for me now was not the best opportunity for me 5 years ago, right? Very different. What's the best opportunity for me now is probably not going to be the same in 5 years. It wouldn't make sense unless I didn't do anything differently, right? So, think about that. I think it's good to get experience in demo accounts first, right? Really early on, and then quickly get some risk on the line. And yeah, get some experience in prop firm accounts and then live accounts pretty quickly, right? But understand the game that you're playing with both, the nature of both. I think prop firms right now, because they continue to change, are an awesome opportunity. Great opportunity to scale, great opportunity for beginners to learn, great opportunity for advanced traders to rinse them, right? Who have a good understanding of, you know, the asymmetric risk opportunity that there is. But you know, you're probably going to want to understand live accounts and gain some experience pretty early on, so you can start to scale. Wow, what a nightmare after that move. Glad I caught some of this bad boy, huh? For those of you guys that missed it, we got short in here. Caught 800 bucks to the downside on a mean reversion trade on YM. Absolutely disgusting price action after that initial movement. Horrible on YM. Wow. That's Chop City. Now I know what you guys were talking about. That is just gross. Yeah, don't get caught in the chop on that. NQ pushing the upside here. You know, was looking at a short down here. That would have paid. Longs, my read of the market's good today. Again, overall pretty choppy, right? This is kind of back and forth. What does this really look like? You know? That's the structure that we got to work with here. You know, look at that. Does that look like super duper clean? Not really. Back to overnight high here. Kind of curious to see if we start to break and run. There's a short opportunity in here. There's a short opportunity in here that I might try. If we crack this overnight high level, I think we are either going to aggressively push to the upside here, back into this area of interest, the low end of this node right in here, maybe through this area pretty quickly. We could tap this real quick and then turn back down. Or where we come back in. Do I want to try this bad boy? Maybe. Wow, we traded overnight high to the tick. Traded overnight high to the tick here. What the fly? What? Where the hell did the fly come from? Overnight high was 604 and a quarter. We traded 603 and 3/4. Wow, 2 ticks off. Yeah, again, gotta stay impatient on this now to see what we start to do here. Stay impatient, stay impatient. But good questions, guys. Good questions. No trades yet for Dictator 331. You guys and your crazy names. Breakout trader here, so range trades help to establish good support and resistance for breakouts for me. For sure. Nice. What you're saying is true. I hope so. Yo, Zach, I passed the 25K. Nice. Let's go. Passed the 25K Lucid Pro 3 hours ago. Now we'll take a payout and update on Discord, whether it's after 10 days or months. Let's go, man. I love that. 0 to a payout. $0 investment because you won an account to a payout. I love it. Mike. Awful. Blew up my practice forcing longs at the open. Real account is locked out. Yeah. Nothing wrong with, you know, playing around in the practice account if the real account's locked out, man. But it's kind of choppy overall. We're trying to maybe pick a direction to the upside here. We're going to sweep overnight high. Again, I'm actually curious for this chop. I'm curious to see if this chop continues. I wouldn't mind a potential short back in. I don't like it as much as an early style trade. So I don't think I'm going to try my hand at this. But there's a crack overnight high, right? Sweep this level here and then potentially come back in. The way that I like to trade this is not the same as, at least from a price action and entry standpoint in general, because it is discretionary. Not exactly the same as YM. If I'm going to look for something like this, I'm not looking to short it while we're going up, right? I'm not looking to short it here, 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 right? Kind of like what I do on YM, where I'm looking to aggressively fade the move to the upside. I'm looking for the turn. I'm looking to fade it, you know, and join potentially the move back down. right? Or the move back up. I'd be looking to, short something as we were coming back down in. Stop loss like that. Just a rough idea of the entry model. Again, very discretionary. This is nuanced stuff here, but I think it's worth noting. Much more aggressive on the, on the selling into buying pressure, buying into selling pressure on YM off the open for that mean reversion than I would be on something like NQ. I'd be waiting for some candlesticks to form, some sellers to show up. Maybe scale into a position, add to a winner. Haven't really done too much of that in the live sessions, but it is pretty solid, especially into the afternoon on NQ. If we get some scalpy movements that start to play out really nicely. No crack of that overnight high. Got some volume getting traded up here, just a little bit. Just a little bit in here. Would like some trades, would like some additional trades here, but again, trying not to do anything too stupid in choppy conditions. After taking that first one. Chat, appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here, man. You guys are awesome. Here's what we're gonna do, Chatty McChat, because this is just looking like back and forth BS. Oh, excuse me. Here's what we're gonna do, chat. We are going to do I was just checking to make sure I had some stuff to give away. We are going to do a giveaway. Let's run it. I'm going to wait for an entry here. See, maybe. No sweep of overnight high. Let's go ahead and do a giveaway. We're going to do a Lucid giveaway at, how many people we got on here? Let's make it somewhat hard for you guys. You know what? I won't make it that hard. Make it 60 bucks. All right. Giveaway for some Lucid accounts. We're going to do a flex account. You guys were asking for flex accounts. We're going to do a flex account. Giveaway of 60 likes. You got to be in the free Discord for a chance to get it. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. Nobody sue me. And we're going to talk about Lucid, man. Bang. You guys smash the like button. Run it up. You got 40-something people on here. We've had 240 some odd people hop on and off. If you're on X, here's what I'm going to do for you on X, chat. Because I see we got a bunch of people on X today. Guess what? You guys are going to get the form too. Here's what we're going to do on Twitter. Here's how Twitter hates to hit the like button or contribute or do anything. All right? Free means free, okay? Here's what we're going to do for free. There are, how many people? 72 people on the Twitter live stream right now. We got the stream rolling on X, on YouTube, on Kick. If you guys can hit 10 likes, Twitter, I'm speaking to you directly, X, I will give you guys the form. You guys can get the form directly from Twitter, okay? You have 2 so far. You have 2 likes so far. If you guys can hit 10 likes on X, you guys can get it. Here, I'll put it in the chat. All right, that's what we're going to do for you guys, because I don't want to leave anybody out. We're non-discriminatory by platform, all right? That's what we're going to do here today, guys. Okay, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Appreciate you hopping on. You can watch from whatever platform you want to watch from. Smash the like button. All right, chat, we'll run it. We will run it. We'll run it. Go ahead and get this one ready as we're cracking overnight high. Yeah, I don't know, guys. So again, let's see how this one plays out, right? I'd be looking to fade this movement for a move back in if we catch some sellers, if and when we catch some sellers in here, okay? Just to take a quick look. If and when we call some sellers after cracking this overnight high level. Let's see. Let us see. Okay. In the meantime, smash the like button on whatever platform you're on, and we will run a giveaway. We'll get somebody funded, man. Let's see. You guys think we're breaking out here? You think we're going to actually move to the upside? Or are you looking for this for a move back in? Tempted to fade this. I'm going to try to watch this as I get this giveaway form up. Hesitation and some sellers. Here we go. I'll mark it. Do I want this on this account that I'm on? Nah, I don't think so. I'll mark it, but I don't think I'm going to take this. Sweep of overnight high, right? Why? Too long, right? We chopped. We couldn't find buyers. We came all the way back down towards VWAP. Now we've trended higher after this choppy consolidation. I think we could be setting up for the move higher, right? Could be really aggressive just on the first sign of sellers showing up right here on the 30-second chart. That would be like the most aggressive, right? Get short right in here for something like this, right? I'm not gonna take this though, guys. I don't think I'm gonna touch that. Let's see how that would have paid. If I'm just gonna have a great read of NQ all day. Good short potential down here. Good long potential up here. But remember, potential and talking about price doesn't get you paid, right? Executing gets you paid. But I'm not going to take this. It's just now we've got buyers trying it higher. I'd like it closer to NYSE open before we pulled all the way back down towards VWAP, and then we trade, 318 points off of the lows, break in, where's our initial balance? Yeah, break in our initial balance high. As we push to the upside. I don't know about that. Anyway, let's get somebody funny, guys. Go ahead, smash the like button. This way we don't have to hang out too long. All right, guys. What do we got? What do we got? Smash the like button. Oh, you guys are almost there. You guys are almost there. You guys are almost there. X, here's what happened on X. We now have 89 people. 89 live stream viewers on X. I'm running a giveaway on X. Usually I don't have, I don't have more in one spot than a whole bunch of others. But I got a Lucid giveaway rolling on Twitter. If you guys want more entries to win, you can hop on Twitter. Real Deal Zach on X. I got entries to win more Lucid accounts. Lucid Flex or Pro accounts. 89 people now on the live stream. 4 likes. 4 likes. I said 10 on the X live stream. And X, you guys could get the giveaway. You can still get the giveaway if you hop in the free Discord if you want it. But you guys are funny. You guys are funny. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if like people listen on or they hear. Oh, look, somebody. Oh, we got 5 guys. Hold on. They might do it. They look out below. We got 5 likes. There we go. You guys ran it up on YouTube. Too funny, man. Way too funny. All right. Giveaway form is live in the free Discord. Let's go open until what are we gonna do? 11 a.m. 11:05, let's say. 11:05 a.m. Eastern. I should know. We're gonna do 11. What is it? 02. Let me put this in here. Boom! I'll even throw it in chat for you guys. Good luck, fellas. This is great. Smash the like button. Zach, are you in this trade on NQ? Normal, you've been here before, right? You've been here before. What does my screen look like if I'm in a trade? Does this look like I'm in a trade? Does this look like I hit the sell button? No. No. And I talked about it. I said it 47,000 times. If you're ever curious, guys, you could just scroll back also. You can just scroll back on the stream a little bit and like see. But no, I'm trading directly from the trading view chart, right? I've been doing that for a while. So, maybe there's one day where I'm doing something differently and I'm just using the position tool, but no. Was mapping out a potential sweep of overnight high, right? Talked about not wanting really to take this one now that we've tested near VWAP and starting to trend higher. I don't think I'm going to take this at all. Took $800 on YM off the open. Mean reversion, solid. Can't complain on that one. So I don't think I'm gonna try my luck on NQ right now. X like reshare, cool. Yeah, guys. So giveaway form is open. All right, here's what we got. Giveaway form is open in Discord. Couple announcements coming up, guys. Here's some housekeeping. Number 1, hop in Discord because I'm not live every single day this week. I got some back and forth. I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes. I'm trying to get this finally put together so I can make some changes that I think are going to be very, very positive. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to close my Discord. I have to actually just not have any invites open so we can test some new stuff coming up this week. Hop in the Discord. I'm going to post on socials like 24 hours. If you're not in the free Discord, it's going to be closed for a while. It's going to be closed for the rest of the week. If I do giveaways, it'll probably be right here on YouTube. I got to cap it for a minute and try some different stuff. Okay, got some cool changes coming up. Along with that, once you hop in the Discord, you should be getting emails from me. support@realdealfutures.com. Okay, check spam, check your inbox, whatever. Make sure you're getting them. I got some really cool stuff cooking, and I want to be able to get a hold of you guys. So that's what we got rolling, man. That's what we got rolling. But I'm going to give you guys until 11:02 a.m. to get this form filled out. We're going to run a giveaway for a Lucid account, a Flex account. It's going to be a 25K. We're going to do a 25K Lucid Flex account. No purchase necessary, but if you want to check out Lucid, 50% off with code RDF. Absolutely badass program over there at Lucid. Absolutely badass program. That's what, whoa. Sorry. That's what we got rolling today. My bad, guys. You got to see the samurais. Twitter, 110 people watch, 107 people. No, there are 110 people watching live. 6 likes they can run it up to, guys. 10 likes on Twitter, and I'll drop the form for you guys. You need 4 more likes on X, 4 more likes on the live stream, and you guys can get the live stream for. It's just so interesting. Is it all bots always that watch on Twitter? I don't get it. I don't get it. Interesting. Yes, good luck all. Zach, do you approve negative risk reward like 0.5? Yes. Yes, I do. Here's my comments. All right. First off, I have an in-person presentation posted to my YouTube channel on risk reward. All right. Hang on. Oh no, it's on the ASFX channel. If you want to watch me yap for 30 minutes on risk to reward, a little bit about myself, and a little bit about risk to reward, right? If you want to watch me yap in person, this was from last year's Tampa in-person event. Link is in the chat for that, okay? Here's what we got, right? There's no good, better, best risk to reward, good, better, best win rate, right? In my humble opinion, they all have their upsides and downsides, okay? With a negative risk to reward, like 0.5, you're going to risk $100 to make 50. You're going to generate a naturally higher win rate and a naturally lower risk to reward, right? But we're all up against the same challenge, increasing past that natural break-even win rate towards positive expectancy. With a negative risk to reward, you're going to go through more winning streaks, less losing streaks. Can be easier on psychology, right? Can be a little bit easier to capture small movements within the market, not needing the market to move so much, right, to give you a winning trade. Downsides, not great for expectancy in general. When you do take losses, they will be larger than your winners, right? They'll be 2 times your winners. A couple of those can really erase profits. It can be difficult to have any kind of mistakes made because those losses are going to really weigh heavily into what your P&L looks like, right? But in general, I think for prop firm accounts, negative risk reward especially can work pretty well. But I'd be cautious with it. I'd be cautious with it, right? A lot of people look at it the same way they look at selling options. I've actually started to kind of come together and see these two as more similar. You know, you're picking up pennies in front of a freight train is the you know, the comment for selling options, right? All these crazy, complicated selling option strategies with 90% win rate, right? You can have a 90% win rate trading futures all day if you want. Doesn't mean you're profitable. Doesn't mean anything, right? If I trade like this all day, right? If I trade like that all day, right? You're probably going to have a lot of wins, right? You're probably going to win more often than you lose, just randomly, right? You're going to rack up green day after green day after green day. But eventually, you get hit by the freight train, okay? This is an extreme example. Eventually, you get hit by the freight train, right? So a lot of traders start to view negative risk to reward, right? This person said 0.5, something like this. They start to, view negative risk to reward as some magic, strategy, right? Or a positive risk to reward, making 3 times or, 5 times what you risk, right? As some big ego thing, so great, right? We're all up against the same challenge, which is what I talk about in that video. Creating a win rate through an edge in the market past the natural break-even win rate for whatever risk reward you choose, okay? There's benefits and drawbacks to both. I'm a fan of a more balanced risk reward. I'm not a fan of a huge positive risk reward. I'm not a fan of a huge negative risk reward. I prefer, first off, I don't run my trades with fixed take profit. So I don't run with any fixed risk reward. But I'm a fan of a little bit of a wider stop loss than most people go for, and an average idea of a 1-to-1. Average idea. Why? You're 50% in completely random market conditions, you're break even. You're as good as just randomly hitting the button. And then if through trade management or entries or exits and, how you want to structure your trades, you can increase that risk to reward by holding your winners a little bit longer, cutting your losers a little bit short, and or, right? Winning a little bit more often than you lose, you can start to make money. I think the farther away you get from that with really negative risk to reward or really positive risk to reward, the more difficult it, becomes to understand what you have to do to win and what that means for your, your equity curve, your next 50 trades. So, that's the deal. Bro, how to stop overtrading and over leveraging? Wani, what's up, man? There's no simple answer to that. It's a combination of a lot of things. If it was easy as, me just responding in, one quick way to give you, glad I didn't look short on this. One quick way, it'd be great. I would start by doing one thing, though. Start by doing one thing. Move yourself to one trade a day. One trade per day. What's the reason for doing that? It's not going to stop you from overtrading or over leveraging once you allow yourself more trades per day. But can you really slow yourself down? Do you even have the wherewithal and the self-discipline to take one singular trade per day where you can't physically over leverage and overtrade? Can you put the guardrails up and do that? And can you wait patiently for that really, really one nice sniper movement to operate? Zoom out, get off the low time frames, go to one trade a day. While you're doing that, read every trading psychology book you possibly can. Okay. All right, guys. Oh, I actually had the giveaway form in Discord. Oh, damn. Well, giveaway forms in Discord. It's open. My bad. Oh, wait a minute. I'm tripping out. Oh, yeah, I said 11. My bad. I'm too much watching price action and answering you guys in the chat. I need another coffee. We're going to end the giveaway form coming up here. We're going to end the giveaway form coming up here. Damn. Let's see what you guys did. Oh, X! You hit it on X. Wait a minute. Whoa! You actually did it. Twitter. I'm so proud of you guys. Wow. Look at that, dude. Twitter, guys, you worked together and you hit this. Hang on. Twitter gets the giveaway form today. Wow, good for you guys. I'm going to give Twitter a second. That's awesome. Great job, guys. Great job. Go ahead and get this one filled out, Twitter. Read the rules, Twitter. Read the rules. Rules are going to be the same for you guys, okay? You got the giveaway form there. Here's the rules. Don't fill it out more than one time. Don't fill it out with your brothers and your mothers and your sisters and your grandma's email, okay? You got to fill it out correctly. There's no second chances. And really importantly, if you win, whatever platform you win on, I don't care. If you win, you have to be here in the chat to claim it. Either on YouTube, Kick, or X. I will watch all the chats. You got to claim it somewhere, okay? Read the rules, Twitter. Read the rules. I'm going to give it another couple minutes, guys, and we'll run the giveaway. That's what we got. Let me get the ducks ready for you guys. Twitter, I'm so proud of you guys. We got a bunch of people on X. 140 people? Twitter, man, you guys are great. Good stuff. 11 likes. You did, wow. You did really good today. So funny, man. All right, let me get the ducks ready. But yeah, bro, zoom out. Zoom out. Get off the low time frames. Start giving yourself way less trades per day, way less risk per day. You move to one trade a day. You can't handle multiple. You're over trading, over leveraging. Move out. Zoom way out. See if you can even do that. Can you stick to that? If you can't stick to that, we got to talk about whether or not you should be trading at all. That's the hard part. All right. Let's go. We got the ducks ready. We got a Lucid Flex account up for grabs coming up here, guys. I'm gonna run a duck race. I'm gonna give Twitter a minute since you guys are getting the form filled out. All right, guys. Last 30 seconds. We're going to get somebody funded here. Let's see. Couple people that rolled in late. Couple of Twitter boys and girls. All right. Closing up shop here, guys. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Girls representing. Nice. What is the task? I don't know, bro. I don't know. For a break. No, it's the same. What happened? No, same giveaway. One giveaway form. One giveaway form, guys. One giveaway form. Man, clean trend to the upside now developing. Drifty, drift, drift. All right, let's go. The form is closing. Good luck, everybody. Let's wrap this up. Appreciate everybody that hopped on here. You guys are awesome, man. We got 3 minutes on the clock. We're going to be giving away a Lucid Flex account. Good luck, everybody. Giveaway is off. Remember, if you missed today's giveaway, I feel bad for you, man. It's a good giveaway. No, if you missed today's giveaway, feel free to hop on the next one. Number one, hop in Discord. Hop in the 100% free trading Discord while it's open because I'm closing it out, okay? I got some changes coming, guys. I got some big changes coming, and I got to test a handful of things in Discord. So this link is going away. I'm putting it on Twitter for you guys since there's a ton of people on Twitter hopping on. We got 176 peeps on Twitter. Look at that when everybody likes and reposts it. No, it's because I got a giveaway rolling on Twitter. I know you guys love the giveaways on Twitter. I know why we got that many viewers today. I got a Twitter giveaway rolling, and you know immediately you get a zillion followers and people watching. But if you want to hop in the free community, hop in the free community. 24 hours. I gotta get rid of all the links so I could test a couple of different things. Okay. Boom. There it is, chat. There it is. And I'm gonna throw it to you guys in the live stream as well. Boom. Alright. Oh, let's see. Let us into the big thing coming up. Oh, you'll hear about it soon. You'll hear about it soon. Got some changes coming, man. I got some fun stuff coming. I'm excited. Excited. Not a bad live stream though. Hopped on, made $800 in 4 minutes right off the open with you guys. Hung out. No real clean follow-up trades for me on NQ. Mapped out a couple movements that did play out, but I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. I'm just gonna chill. We'll get somebody funded. We'll see what the trading gods have in store for the Ducks today. Who's taking the Lucid Flex account? Let's see who's got it. Let's see. Tight pack going into the finish here on these Ducks. Very tight pack going into the finish here. 20 seconds to go. Let's see who's going to take it. Digital Nukes in the middle here up top. Wellington. Wani. Wani, what happened, bro? You were up front. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stop loss is getting hit. Bags out of nowhere. The business lens. BT Art. Nemi. Bags with the win. Remember, guys, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Remember, they got to be here to claim it. Bags. Such a funny name. Bags on. You are watching on YouTube. Where you at, my man? Where you at, my brother? My brother in Christ. W's in the chat. We got a ton of people on. We got a ton of people on across streams, man. It's crazy, man. We got like 300 concurrent. I appreciate you guys hopping on. If you're new here, welcome to the show. Trade live here quite often on YouTube, Kick, and X, depending on where you're watching from. Brian! Wait a minute, Brian Alvarez! No, wait a minute. Is it you? Is Brian Bags? No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There he is. There's Bags. There he is. There he is in chat. We got OGs taking the W's here, man. OGs taking the W's. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Is there more than one of you guys? Wait a minute. Wait. Sorry, guys. Don't go anywhere yet. Don't go anywhere yet. Hold on. Now I gotta confirm this. Hold on. What did we do here? Bags. Yeah, it's Andrew Bags, right? Bags, why are you confusing me? There's only one Bags on here. There he is. There he is. Thank you. Thank you. Bags, take the bags. My bad. My bad. My bad. I had to double check to make sure who I was looking at here. Andrew Bags is the only Bags on here, but you had Bags for your name on the duck and the YouTube username. So thank you. We got it. We got it. We're good. We got it. W's in the chat for Bags. Sorry, you guys make me nervous here. I was like, wait a minute. There can't be more than one Bags, is there? I mean, that's kind of like not super common. I don't think we would have that. Guys, this is awesome. Boatload of people on the stream today. Andrew Bags taking the W on the duck race. Let me mark this out so I can remember to send this over to you. I'll reach out to you in Discord, man. Before I do, I'll make sure I tell you in the main chat. Don't respond to the scammers and spammers. You are the winner of a 25K Lucid Flex. Make the note so I don't mess it up. Just in case you guys did not win, if you want to check out Lucid, they are still 50% off. Badass accounts from a badass firm. Like I talk about, I think there's a reason that you see so many people getting paid out from these guys, including myself. If you want to check them out, link is down below this video. Savage, they are still 50% off. We are chilling here. No trade on NQ. What did YM do? Wow, man. Wow. Here was my trade on YM. I can't complain, guys. If you hopped on late, you can go back and watch the stream from the beginning. Took $800 on YM to the downside, and I'm glad I did. We just chopped here. Straight chopped. Got it right out of the middle ground of what we turned into a choppy range here. No complaints. No complaints. So I got a handful of things to do today. I'll get some scalping into the afternoon on some prop accounts, man. We'll get through some evals, get through some fundeds. But outside of that, guys, be careful. Careful trading today. We're starting to drift to the upside on NQ. We got potential for more volatility with all this craziness going on in the Middle East. Even though we're praying for peace, as traders, we do have to pay attention to that, right? Hop in Discord if you're not in Discord. Remember, I got a whole bunch of different schedules rolling up here, guys. I got some changes coming to Discord. Yeah, that's what we got. Quick disclaimer. Awesome live session, man. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is I stand to make money from links and codes in my chat. In my content, in my chat also, but in my content. Like Lucid, like code RDF, like we're giving away right here. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that. For you to do your own research and make your own dang decisions. Chat, you guys are awesome. Appreciate everybody hopping on here. Thanks for being here. We got more giveaways rolling this week. We got the live stream rolling this week. We got Discord rolling this week. Hop in, man. Talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome rest of the day.